Alright guys, so welcome to part 2 of my Road to Endgame, MCU marathon. And of course, with this video, we're going to be starting off with Iron Man 3, which I'm watching these movies in a chronological order, in order of events. And of course, after the first Avengers, which is the previous MCU movie that I left off with, it's now Iron Man 3. So I did rewatch this movie a few months ago in IMAX 3D when they re-released the Marvel movies in IMAX, and I really liked it then. Let's see if it still holds up, and then I'll give out my opinion afterwards. So anyways, let's go pop this one in, and I'm excited. Let's continue. So last night I stayed up till 4 watching the first Thor movie and the first Avengers movie. As of right now, it's 10 p.m. I'm gonna see how late I could stay up watching these movies. If I could, I'll get to Thor Dark World and then The Winter Soldier if I possibly could. But looking at the results of how tired I am right now, probably I would only make it through one movie tonight, but we'll see.
Yo, listen up, here's the story about a little guy that lives in the blue world and all.
You know what? Say what you will about Iron Man 3, but I just admire this movie. The more and more I watch it, the more I grow up, I admire this movie because I remember seeing this movie in theaters, and I really liked the movie, but I didn't like it as much as I do right now, because I think that one of the things that really caught me off guard when I was watching this movie when I was 11 in theaters was the Mandarin twist, and I didn't really understand it, and I didn't really know why they did it. I wasn't a fan of it at first, but now rewatching it, I just admire. I love the twist, the Mandarin twist, because it just makes the movie go in this very unpredictable path, and I love that they did that. And this is a very character-driven movie, of course. It mainly focuses on Tony and how he's doing after the events of the first Avengers movie with the aliens attacking New York and all of that. And you even see in the movie how he gets like PTSD every time anyone mentions that event. So I really like how they add that on to develop his character further in the movie. And again, I really think that twist with the Mandarin is just so genius. It's so pure. I love it so much. And the actual villain is good, but at the same time he's kind of weak. But he's definitely one of the better MCU villains so far. So I really love this movie quite a lot. It's definitely a huge step up from Iron Man 2. Almost as good as the first Iron Man movie, but I know a lot of you guys don't enjoy this movie as much, but in my opinion, I really kind of love this movie. So with that being said, I'm gonna give Iron Man 3 an A-. Also, I forgot to mention that I've been also watching the Marvel one-shot shorts, and of course, in the part 1 video, I didn't mention this, but I did watch the Agent Carter one, which was really good. The one called The Consultant, which is the one that takes place after Incredible Hulk. It's really pointless. And then there's another one called Something Funny Happened on the Way to Thor's Hammer, and it's just pointless as well. But then there's this really, really good one, which takes place after Iron Man 3, and it's called All Hail the King, and it basically kind of just fills in this plot hole from Iron Man 3 of the Mandarin, or, who he really is, Ben Kingsley's character. And I just think it's just a genius short film. I really like it quite a lot. But anyways, it's currently like 1:30 in the morning, and I'm gonna pop in Thor Dark World. I do own the DVD, so I'm gonna rewatch it, and let's see how this holds up. You know what, to be continued, because right now I'm feeling a little tired and I don't think I'm gonna make it through this movie. So to be continued tomorrow, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Okay, so it's currently 11:30 p.m. I'm gonna put in Thor Dark World finally, and then I'm gonna see if I can make it through this one peacefully, then without sleeping, then I'll watch The Winter Soldier, but we'll just have to wait and see. But anyways, let's get this movie started. So the only reason why I own this movie on DVD is because I once went to the Disney store, and then they had a bunch of brand new copies of Thor: Dark World for $2.99, so $3, and it was DVD. But it was one of the only MCU movies I didn't own yet, so that's the reason why I have this on DVD instead of Blu-ray. But I'm gonna try to upgrade soon. But again, for $3, I just couldn't complain. If you guys seen my part 1 video to the road to Endgame, you guys know that I don't like Thor. And Thor: Dark World at least manages to be somehow, better than the first one, but it's not a good movie, if that makes any sense. But there are some things that I do like about this movie, and there are a handful of things I really do not like about this movie. Like, overall, it's just mixed. Like, it's just like half things that I like about this movie and half things I hate about this movie. So I'm not gonna go deep into it, but like the structure is just really weird. It's really poor, and a lot of the writing, like there are some cool ideas that they have in this movie, and those cool ideas are some of the things that I do like about the movie. But there are some things in this movie that I just kind of question, and some of the writing, again, it's not all that good. But what really kills this movie so much is the villain, Malekith. He's such a terrible villain. One of the worst, or no, actually, he's the worst villain in the MCU. But some things that I did like about the movie, Chris Hemsworth, he's good. Tom Hiddleston is great as Loki. I do like Natalie Portman, even though she's that very unforgettable love interest that I just really didn't care for. And the same goes for every other character in this movie that isn't Thor or Loki. I just didn't care for them at all. And there is some cool action scenes in this movie, but just overall, the overall result, this movie, it's not that good of a movie. So anyways, with that being said, I'm gonna give Thor: The Dark World a C-. It's kind of funny when I start to realize that the only times I took a nap during watching a MCU movie and this Road to Endgame marathon was with both Thor movies. It just kind of shows how uninteresting both the first two Thor movies really are. But at least it really does get better from here. Alright guys, so up next is Captain America: The Winter Soldier. I'm very excited to rewatch this one. I haven't watched this one since 3 years ago when I was preparing for my Civil War marathon. I don't know. But I'm really excited to rewatch this one, and let's keep on going.
Time I trusted someone, I lost an eye.
But you lost it to a cat? It seems to get that the older I get and the more mature I get, the more I seem to love this movie. This movie doesn't even feel like it's part of the MCU because it's its own thing. It's a political spy thriller, and it's definitely trying to go a different approach than all the other MCU movies. And the villain in this movie, Alexander Pierce, he's not one of the toughest villains in the MCU, but he's damn well one of the best villains in the MCU. Although I did wish that we could have gotten a little bit more in depth to what he's doing, but other than that, he's still a great villain. And by the way, it's Black Widow, the best use of Black Widow in any of the MCU movies. And if they go the route that they went with this movie, the political spy thriller angle with the Black Widow movie, then I'm all down for it. Anyways, I'm gonna give Captain America: The Winter Soldier an A. A few days behind. Up next is Guardians of the Galaxy in 3D. Right now, my pacing is really slow because I just don't have enough time. But I'm supposed to be up to Captain America: Civil War right now, but I'm still behind with Guardians of the Galaxy. So other than that, we gotta pick up the speed and let's watch Guardians of the Galaxy. First Guardians of the Galaxy movie, I think, is a genuinely great movie. I don't love the movie as much as I used to. I remember when I first watched it, I gave the movie a perfect score at 10 out of 10. But after rewatching it, I think my only problem with the movie is the villain, Ronan. He's not exactly a weak villain, but he's not exactly one of the strong standout villains of the MCU. But other than that, I just love the mix of comedy and action, and the movie gets serious when it needs to get serious, and it's just such a great movie. James Gunn did a fantastic job directing the movie, of course, and I'm glad that he's back for Volume 3, because I think he's the only one who would be able to understand the movie adaptations of Guardians of the Galaxy. So, anyways, I'm gonna give Guardians of the Galaxy an A. And right after the events of the first movie is Volume 2, so I'm about to watch that right now, and let's pop it in. Currently midnight right now, it's like 12 a.m. and I'm a little hungry because I haven't eaten in a while, but that's why the lunch bowl is always coming cold. I absolutely love Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. I actually think it's a better movie than the first one, definitely just a great sequel, and it really expands on the characters, and there's just a lot of character development in this movie, which I really love, and there's also like a lot of very true moments in this movie where they were very profound, very real, and I dig this movie a lot for that. Now, I did watch this director's vision thing before the movie started, and it's basically James Gunn talking about how he's grateful to be making these movies and how he had creative control behind these movies and how he really was doing his own thing. Like, Marvel wasn't overtaking his ideas or anything like that. So he basically gave out the best of his visions for both movies, and he did a perfect job with this movie. And Ego, say what you will, I think he's a great villain. And you guys don't hear me say that a lot about Marvel villains, but he's a great villain. And I just love this movie to bits. And with that being said, I'm gonna give Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2 an A+. And the last movie for this video, Avengers Age of Ultron. Of course, I got the Age of Ultron Steelbook from Best Buy when it came out. It's the Blu-ray 3D. We have Ultron in the back, and of course, inside, we got some artwork inside with the Avengers. Of course, there's more behind the actual disc. But anyways, let's pop this in. About to watch in 3D. And yeah, let's watch the last movie for this video. Can you guys believe that it's already been 4 years since Avengers Age of Ultron? Like, the time just flew by incredibly fast. I remember walking out of Avengers Age of Ultron back in 2015. I absolutely love this movie, and I know many of you guys felt the same way. But just rewatching it, it just doesn't really hold up as much. For me personally, I just kind of have more I start seeing more problems with this movie the more I watch it, but not to a point where I dislike the movie like most. But really, the movie just it really feels like they're pushing too much in this movie. It feels like it feels like there's way too much, information in this movie. Just way too much exposition and too much foreshadowing for the future of the MCU, and a lot of things just feel really shoehorned and forced in there. But other than that, I'd say it's still a really good movie for the most part. Ultron was actually a good villain, not great, but he's not a weak villain like most people say it is. So really, when it comes to my opinion for Avengers Age of Ultron, it's a bit unpopular, but I still really like this movie, although I don't think it holds up as much as when I watched it the first time. But it's still very much, it's very enjoyable, it's very watchable, and the 3D transfer in this is fantastic. So the movie's action scenes are very enjoyable, just that the movie's a bit frustrating with the story itself. But with that being said, I'm gonna give Avengers Age of Ultron a B. I actually used to collect Pop Funkos, and I got a bunch of, well, not a bunch, but I got a few of them from the MCU movies that I watched in this video. Of course, we got Loki from Thor Dark World, we got Iron Man and Captain America from Age of Ultron, we also have Hulk down there, the Hot Topic exclusive with the red eyes where he got possessed by Scarlet Witch, we got Baby Groot up there, and of course Rocket down there. And of course, my favorite poster out of all the posters I have up here, my Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2 IMAX 3D poster. But anyways, that was part 2 of my Road to Endgame marathon. We're less than a week from Endgame. It's just unbelievable. But anyways, tonight I'll start filming part 3. Of course, part 3 starts with Ant-Man and then it ends with Infinity War. And of course, part 3 leads up to my biggest movie day / review of the year. Hopefully, we'll see. But I'm seeing Endgame next Thursday in IMAX at 6:30. So hopefully my review for Endgame, depending how long my review is and how long the movie day is, like how long it takes me to edit it, that movie day for Endgame should be up Friday night, if not Saturday morning. But again, we'll have to see how long that takes. But anyways, Let's move on to part 3. Let the journey begin, and yeah, on to the next video.